Good afternoon, guys. This is Mr. Nettles. Today we are going to be discussing making predictions. A prediction is a guess you make about what is going to happen in a selection or a story. Now, the guess is not just out of your head or out of the air, but it's actually through inferencing. You remember inferencing, you find clues in the text plus your background knowledge, and that helps you to make a prediction. Now, before you read, you must look at the cover and read the title. That usually tells you. Sometimes they have a picture with the title, or the title is going to say, Learning All About Ladybugs. Well, the clue would be ladybugs or learning all about ladybugs. So you would know that book is going to be about ladybugs, not about giraffes or rhinoceroses. So think about the characters of the genre and the text structure. So if it's all about ladybugs, what do you think? Is this story um, nonfiction or fiction? So that's thinking about the genre, and then think about the text structure. So if you're looking through the text and you do a book walk before you start reading and you see graphs and charts, is it going to be fiction or nonfiction? That also is a clue. So look at the text features and illustrations, then predict what the text will be about. So then you're going to think about what you're going to be reading. So you think about all those things before you even start to read a book. During the reading, you'll think, what will happen next? You'll stop and think about what you read. Well, you might stop and read something and think, well, that was interesting. I didn't think that was going to happen. Or think about genre characteristics, the text features, or text structure. And what do you think will happen next? So if you're looking at a book and you'll say uh, they have a twist in the story, then you'll stop and decide, well, what made you think that it was not going to happen the way you thought? Or vice versa. I knew that was going to happen because, and those are usually the predictions that you have. Then after reading, you'll think, yeah, I was right. That was correct. I knew that was going to happen this way, or I knew it was going to end like this. And those are all making predictions based on inferencing, the clues in the story, plus your background knowledge about what's happening in your mind with that clue. And then you make an inference to make a prediction. So let's start before reading. Before reading Taming a Tornado, A Tall Tale, well, we read the title, and well, I think it might be about a tornado, but then it says a tall tale. I remember in second grade, tall tales were like stories, they were like legends. So let me look and see if there's anything else that might help me. Oh, there's a picture of a cowboy holding a rope and a tornado. Okay, so it says Pecos Bill. I can see that. Oh, okay. I remember Pecos Bill, tall tale. So let's go ahead and start reading and let's make a prediction. This story is going to be about him taming. Taming, I need to look that up, but I think I remember taming means calming down. So calming a tornado down. So it's going to be about Pecos Bill calming a tornado down. All right. One evening, just before sunset, Pecos Bill and his cowboy friends were sitting around a campfire. They were worried about the drought that had dried up the West. Fellas, I'm afraid that soon there'll be no grass for our cows. We surely can't drive a skinny old herd to the market, Amos said to the group, resting his head on his hand. Suddenly, a strong gust of fierce wind blew out the fire faster than a blink of an eye. Now, that in the gosh darn tarnation was that? Jasper exclaimed, looking up in the sky. The cowboys turned their eyes to the sky and saw that it had turned black and green. A twisting, angry tornado had appeared in the horizon, on the horizon. Would you look at that? I think we've got a storm a coming, friends. Silas smiled, slapping his knee with the cowboy hat. It seems that I've got a tornado to tame. friends. I'm going to ride that tornado and lead that there storm all over the West. It's going to rain all over them dry lands. Pecos Bill announced. Amos, Jasper, and Silas stared at Pecos Bill. They knew their friend was the best cattle wrangler in this side of the Mississippi. He would jump on the back of the cows and ride them till they would tire out. But taming a tornado was clearly impossible. So I'm going to stop right there and I'm going to think during my reading, stop and think about what you're reading. Genre characteristic. I want to know, well, this genre, is this a real story, do you think? And I would think, no, this can't happen. Nobody can get on a tornado and tame a tornado like they would get on a bull at the rodeo. That just doesn't happen. So this genre is clearly fiction. It's not a real story. All right, so Pecos Bill grabbed his rope and started swinging the loop above his head. With one big swing aimed straight up at the twister, he roped that tornado and jumped on it. See you later, fellas. Hee-haw! Pecos Bill yelled over the roar of the storm, kicking his spurs into the tornado. That twirling tornado bucked and rocked like an angry horse, but Pecos rode it all over the dried out west. The rain came down in sheets, covering the thirsty earth. He rode it over Texas and Nevada, dumping more rain than had ever been seen before. He led it to Arizona, where it rained so much that it carved out the Grand Canyon. Finally, that poor tornado was all tuckered out, and he could not find the strength to twist one more time. Pecos Bill jumped off the tornado in California, hitting the ground with such a force that he formed Death Valley. That was one crazy twister ride, Pecos Bill said to himself as he brushed himself off and he started his long journey to rejoin his cowboy friends. So, was it about him getting on a tornado and riding? It sure was. Calming it down? It sure was. And did I predict right that this was fiction? Absolutely. One person can't create the Grand Canyon. That's not how it happened. So, and he can't ride a tornado. So it was clearly a fake story. So it was a tall tale. And that, my friends, is what you do when you're reading and you're trying to make predictions before, during, and after reading. And yes, you will use the clues in the story plus your background knowledge to make these inferences, to make these predictions. All right, I'm going to leave you with one last thing so that you can see and watch and enjoy. And that, my friends, was Pecos Bill. Have a good afternoon.